Good day to you all, podcast enthusiasts, social media gurus, and also the general world wide web. I'm Lawrence of the Lawrence Perspective from the LM Media grouping. And one thing I'd like to ask today is, which country has the best musicians? Well, that's a topic worth discovering and discussing. However, I will take three particular countries of note: Zimbabwe, Nigeria, and South Africa. Let's start by talking about Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has had a good history. You have Thomas Mapfumo, Oliver Mtukudzi. These are recent high-powered musicians of great international renown. In the past, you had Leonard Dembo, the Bundu Boys, and also Mechanic Manyeruke, and the other guy who plays bass guitar, Alec Machesu. What a magnificent guy. If I harp on to the past, there's others like Robson Banda, and the likes of the Sungura Boys and a whole host of other musicians. If I go into South Africa, that's a different history. It's a longer history of music. It forms Bakanga, Kwaito, and currently Amapiano. Well, Amapiano is derived from all those music of the background, the past, from the pre-Soweto era, Sophia Town, and then subsequently Soweto, and the likes of Spokes Mashiane, Miriam Makeba, Hugh Masekela, and the great big guy, what was his name again? Mahlatini, and the Mahotela Queens. Now, all of that comes into fruition in today's music when you have DJs performing to the ultimate. And this would be guys like Kabda De Small and those two brothers whose name escapes me from time to time. And then you have people who are singers like what's that guy's name again? The other guy, I forget his name. But South Africa, Amapiano represents a wider range of musicians who are so many in number. You know, you've got such a large volume. You've got Kelvin Momo and others. So in a nutshell, that's my knowledge of Amapiano. Nigeria, in the past, they didn't have many musicians. They had Sonny Okusun, Nikolapo Kuti, and that was about it. Nigeria's span of musicians was two. It's different now. You got Pantorankin, you got Wizkid, you got Flavor, you got Yemi Alade, you got Tiwa Savage, Duncan Mighty, or is it Mighty Duncan? Not sure. One of the Duncans anyway. And the number just grows and grows and grows. The question I have for you is, can you really compare the music styles of all these musicians? The Zimbabweans with their style of Sungura and traditional mbira music, the South Africans with their kwaito, Soweto jive and basic township music, moving into Amapiano, or the Nigerians with their Afro sound, Afro beats, becoming Afro beats, and then Afro beats. I'm not sure. It's not a comparison you can make. But certainly one thing you can now be sure of in today's world, the sound quality of the music is superb. On all fronts, whether you're talking Amapiano, you're talking Afro beats, or you're talking traditional mbira sound, the music is equal in terms of quality. The studios are just as good. The sound systems are fantastic. The guitars, the instruments are world renowned. You can buy a music online. In other words, musical instruments abound. You can buy them online. You can buy the best pianos, the best guitars, the best drums. So the world is a mass with all that sort of thing. However, I'm going to put a clause here. Zimbabwean music is quite unique in the sense that no one else plays the way Zimbabweans play. That guitar, that plucking of the guitar to make it sound like a mbira sound is unheard of. I think Ugandan musicians possibly try and emulate, or their traditions are similar. The amapiano sound is starting to sound more and more like jazz. You know, it reminds me of jazz, British jazz of the 80s. And the Afro beats is very heavy, emphasis on local vocals, whether that's the local languages, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, or Pidgin English. It also sounds quite unique. There's a thumping bass in the background. There's a lot of good vocals. The videos from Nigeria are excellent. They're the best you can ever watch. And that's emulated from wherever in the world. If you go to Azerbaijan, or you go to Ukraine or Mongolia, you're gonna hear Afrobeats. I've been around here in Australia, and I hear Afrobeats everywhere. It's very interesting how we as Africans are influencing the world without even realizing it. However, I put a clause there. As long as the music stays the same, as long as Africans continue to explore different methods, techniques, but maintaining their background, traditional, cultural, and historical music, they will succeed. The minute a band or an artist starts to sound like Beyonce, Usher, Jay-Z, or Tupac, you're dead and gone. You're dead and gone. So I say that Zimbabwe, unique music, amapiano, a lot of background piano and, or if you like, jazz influences in the background from the likes of Yuma Sekela, and Afrobeats taking its cue from the likes of Fela, with a traditional very long horn sections and piano sessions. I'd say that in all, each music has its own identity and strengths, and each music is unique in its own way. So when you play the music, just remember where it came from, and take a cue from me that you're never going to hear any better music than African music. In the next video, I will discuss other types of music that I haven't been able to discuss today, but I will certainly touch on them and give you a feel for what the vibes are and whether you can get with it from that type of music. But for now, I remain yours, Lawrence, of the Lawrence Perspective. Enjoy this one. It was a light-hearted video, and thanks to everyone for listening and viewing. Who knows? You might just hear something great from an African country. Take care.